Hey, folks, and welcome back to Glenn and Adrian's Rock Talk. That's Adrian.
And that's Glenn.
And today we return to Genesis, Supper's Ready, which dropped on their Foxtrot album in 1972. We're going to be looking at a version from Shepperton Studios in 1973. So happens I have the album here, bought in the mid-'80s, and signed by Steve Hackett about 10 years back. What was it? 2014, that is. Just like Adrian's set of CDs from 2007 and DVDs.
Oh, yeah.
So, as you can see, very interesting cover. This ended up being one of Pete's costumes, and maybe we'll see it in this, maybe we won't. I'm not sure exactly. That's the back cover. It's a gatefold. Just by sheer luck, back in the day, I bought a really nice gatefold copy of this album on the Charisma label. It's got all of the lyrics in there, and you can see Pete with his reverse mohawk, and Bill Collins, and Mike Rutherford.
Photos. Check out the photos of all of them.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a fan of like modern Genesis, 80s Genesis and stuff.
Banks here and Hackett. And then that's Richard McPhail, who I believe is a stagehand, maybe a good friend of the band.
Yeah.
So pretty nice artwork there. Of course, it takes up nearly all of side 2. It's long enough to take up a side, but they also have a 1-minute song, Horizons, on there. See, Charisma label. So this is a prized possession. And yeah, I've had it for at least 40 years, I believe. So.
I have 2 pressings of it on my iPod. I have what I think is the mix from the original Foxtrot, or at least maybe from whatever you have or whatever, just a regular CD, and I have a remix from 2007.
Why don't we go into this, and maybe we'll stop it once in a while as we go to each section. The songs are, I think there's this total of 7 segments in here of different songs. See if we can find the segues and maybe stop it once in a while, and we'll talk about what just happened. Okay? All right, let's check it out.
This, to us, was perhaps Jerusalem boogie, but to the birds it meant supper is ready.
Across the sitting room, I turn the television off. Sitting beside you, I look into your eyes. As the sound of motor cars fades in the nighttime, I swear I saw your face change. It didn't seem quite right. And it's hello me with your guardian ass on you. Hey, my baby, don't you know our love is true? Coming closer with our eyes, a distance falls around our bodies. Out in the garden, the moon seems very bright. 6 saintly shrouded men move across the lawn slowly. The 7th walks in front with a cross held high in hand. And it's hello me, your supper's waiting for you. Hey, my baby, don't you know our love is true? I'd be so far from here, far from your warm arms. It's good to feel you again. It's been a long, long time.
Adrian, can you tell me where the bass notes are coming from in that beginning section? Who's playing them?
I would have to guess Michael Rutherford, because he's got the bass pedals in front of him and he's got the double neck guitar.
Okay.
I've talked about him doing all that before, playing the 12 string, all the bass pedals, and singing background at the same time.
I think that's right. Just based on what I observed in there, it was very subtle because the camera was never really on his feet while we were hearing those bass notes, and I was trying to figure out who was playing them. It wouldn't have surprised me if Tony Banks was doing them too, just because, and I don't think he was, but theoretically, as a keyboard player as well as a guitar player, he could have been in charge of that.
I think Tony was playing a 12-string at the beginning. He was. I guess he started playing the Wurlitzer during this part that we just listened to.
Yeah, we actually saw him put the guitar down and walk over to the keyboard.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, he was on 12-string. And that was interesting, too. I mean, I knew theoretically that he played 12-string, but I don't know that I've seen him actually play it on video before. So that was interesting to me. Mm. Okay, and here we have Phil Collins just waiting. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's doing the little ding-ding here and there, but he hasn't fully come in yet. His part in this song, by the way, especially later on, is just unbelievable.
Looks out down the farm with water here. He cares for all his harvest. I know a fireman who looks after the
So you note the little Rocky Top kind of melody going on there with the children's choir.
I thought I'd point out something that's kind of important. Well, first I should probably say this. The song has some very religious and mythological themes, so they're kind of intertwined throughout the song. Beginning with "Guaranteed Eternal Sanctuary Man," what we were just listening to. It starts with Peter putting on the crown of thorns you might notice on his head.
Now, why does he do that?
It's been suggested that the Guaranteed Eternal Sanctuary Man is the devil. You have lines like, "Look into my mouth," he cries. "I bet my life you'll walk inside." Could it be the mouth of hell, perhaps? In Renaissance art, there are depictions of people being swallowed up by the devil, or literally being eaten by the devil, which is the mouth of hell.
Interesting.
I think that's where it came from, actually.
Well, maybe it's worth noting at this point, too, that when they talk about the supper's ready, that's supposed to be the Last Supper, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, okay. So, yes, so some Christian overtones in here. Why do you think they're talking about it? Just as a subject?
Yeah. I mean, there are a lot of things in the song that kind of point to some biblical references. There are also some mythological references.
Do you suspect there's any particular reason why they decided to make the song, or was it just an interesting topic to talk about and put into a song?
I really don't know. It's funny. I mean, I've read about how the song was written, or I've read about different accounts of it. I don't know which one is right. One was that Peter was staying at a house at one time that was haunted, and like he and his girlfriend had done like some, lighting candles and stuff like that, summoning spirits and such.
Yeah.
Somehow this song came out of that.
Ah, okay. Let's continue.
Wearing feelings in our faces when our faces took a rest. We walked across the fields to see the children of the West. Summer homes to dark skinned warriors standing still below the ground.
back of the stage more than once to get his costumes and props for the next part of the song.
Let's take a moment here. I really enjoyed the duel that Tony Banks and Steve Hackett did together in that section there. And it was so immaculate, too, you know, to come out of nowhere like that. Of course, it slows down here. Do you have any idea why Peter is moving the way that he is? It looks like he's acting a character.
The order for dancing and rejoicing has come from our Lord. It's just, I know it's a battle type of tune, and I would need you to check the title of part 3. It's I'm not sure of the first name, but the second name is Itzakon and his Band of Merry Men.
Okay.
And I know that the name Itzakon is purposely written to sound like It's a Con.
Icknut and Itzakon and their Band of Merry Men.
Yep, that's it.
Wow.
Well, what I like about this part of the video is that, you get to see what Tony is doing on the keyboard and what Steve is doing on the guitar.
Yeah, I agree. I like that. I like that a lot. Do you know what that keyboard is on top of the Hammond organ? See that thing up there?
Yeah, that could be, that looks like a synthesizer.
That might be a Moog. That might be the Moog soloist or an
ARP soloist.
ARP soloist. That might be an ARP soloist. And I'll bet you if we go in here, I don't think we can see it, but I bet you this is an octave switch because I saw him dropping the octave using it.
I'd say you're right.
ARP soloist, very good. All right, now let's see if we can pick out the other gear being used by these guys while they're playing. So, okay, so now we're going into the "Am I So Beautiful" or whatever. What's the name of it, Adrian?
How Dare I Be So Beautiful?
Yes, How Dare I Be So Beautiful, which is a quiet little section, and then it brings us into Willow Farm.
It's kind of a segue, between the Band of Merry Men and the Willow Farm. I'm kind of wondering if it's about the gruesome aftermath of the battle that was just mentioned. We climb up the mountain of human flesh.
Yeah. Well, let's keep that in mind as we listen.
Wandering in the chaos, the battle's left. We climb up the mountain of human flesh to a plateau of green grass and green trees full of life. A young figure sits still by a pool. He's been stamped human bacon by some butchery tool. He is here. Social security took care of his lad. We watch in reverence as Narcissus is turned to a flower.
A flower? You go down to Willow Farm to look for butterflies, butterflies. Open your eyes, it's full of surprise. Everyone rises up in the rocks. The musical box. Yes! There's mom and dad, good and bad, and everyone's happy to be here. There's Winston Churchill dressed in rag. He used to be a British flag, plastic man, was a drag. The frog was a prince. The prince was a big everything. We're growing everything. We got some in, we got some out. Got some wild things floating about. Everyone, we're changing everyone. You name them all, we've had them here. And the real styles are still to appear. All right, feel your body melt. Bump to bump to bell to that. Daddy, daddy, the ball. Daddy, down to not to not. To you worship, no to you worship. You're all to the ball. Let me hear you lies. Living this up to the for hidden doors, tidy floors, more applause. You've been here all the time. That which is not, that which is not. You're under the soil, the soil, the soil. It's deep in the soil, the soil, the soil, the soil, the soil, the soil. We'll end with a whistle, end with a bang. All of us within our places.
I'm going to stop it right there just because from here on out, I think it's the most interesting part of the song. And we're a little past the halfway point, but this is where I think it gets really interesting.
The break then begins with all change, and it goes into that little ditty, you know, Dad diddly office, Mom diddly washing.
Yeah.
Final declaration, Mom, I want you now, and then it returns to the previous theme.
If you go down to Willow Farm to look for butterflies and flutterbys and gutterflies, open your eyes. Because it's full of surprise and everyone lies. And there's Mom and Dad and good and bad. There's Winston Churchill dressed in drag. Yep, he used to be a British flag. The frog was a prince. The prince was a brick. The brick was an egg. The egg was a bird.
I like that.
Yeah. Hadn't you heard? We're happy as fish, gorgeous as geese, and wonderfully clean in the morning. We've got some wild things floating about. You've named them all. We've had them here. The real stars are still to appear, so it almost feels like a show going on.
Kind of reminds me of Ned Flanders from The Simpsons. Dad diddly office, Mom diddly washing.
It's going to take us into Apocalypse in 9/8, which I love for all kinds of reasons.
Oh, yeah.
Particularly the musicianship, especially of Phil Collins. But in general, it's just a really amazing piece of music, and it's why this is such a revered piece, I think. I think it's that part that really knocks it home.
I think the drums and guitars are played in 9/8. Keyboards are in 4/4.
So the words are, with the guards of Magog swarming around, the guards of Magog are swarming around. The Pied Piper takes his children underground. Of course, he's the guy, you know, his flute is... Actually, I think that had to do with rats, but I think the children also followed him, you know. So
Leads his children underground. I wonder if it's because I made the mention of the devil back in the Guaranteed Eternal Sanctuary, man. I wonder if the Pied Piper is leading people to the underworld. I don't know. That's a possible interpretation anyway.
then the next line is, the dragon's coming out of the sea with shimmering silver head of wisdom looking at me. He brings down the fire from the skies. Okay. You can tell he's doing well by the look in human eyes. You'd better not compromise. It won't be easy. So that's all before they get back to the reprise of the first part of the song. But in between is this amazing musical interlude. So we're going to hold thoughts on some of those lyrics until later on. Let's go ahead and go into this and check it out. And we may not pause it for a bit since... this is a pretty lengthy section.
naughty night so blue. Hey, my baby, don't you know our love is true? I've been so far from here, far from your loving arms. Now I'm left again. Our baby's gonna work out fine. Can't you feel our souls ignite? Shedding ever-changing colors in the darkness of the fading night. Like a river joins the ocean now as the drama we're finally free to get back home. There's an angel standing in the sun. And he's crying without hopes. This is the supper of my mighty one. All the kings has returned to lead his children home to take them to the new Jerusalem.
The apocalypse part ends delightfully with Peter in the box costume and black robes.
Yeah.
And it's actually so big, he has to put the mic stand like inside his robe in order to reach the mic with his mouth because of the box around his head.
That's funny. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, at the end of the verse, Peter suddenly explodes and is now wearing all white, which I kind of wonder, is it transforming from a devil into an angel, perhaps? Or
Jesus.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, it's
Resurrection, even.
Yeah. Well, it could be. Yeah, it's really open to interpretation, I guess.
Frontman Peter Gabriel wrote the lyrics, which mainly describe a personal journey of scenes from the Book of Revelation and good versus evil, with several real-life experiences providing further inspiration.
I guess with the live version, every live version actually, they play the very end of the song in a different key.
Yeah.
I've gotten so used to hearing it, the album version, with ending in that key, and then it's dropped.
They drop it a step. So
Drop it a step.
Yeah, so instead of A, it's down to G, I believe. Or maybe it's G to F. It's something like that. So, yeah, my theory on that is that after they finished recording this, Peter was like, okay, there's no way we can play it like that. My voice, my vocal cords, because he's really screaming at the end. He's at the very top of his range. Yeah. And it's funny, on the original studio recording, you can hear that there's a lot of distortion, actually, on his vocal track, and he was probably like, I cannot do that again. It's like, forget it. So I did just find something that's really relevant that I want to show you, Adrian. Okay. It might help with some of this. Right. Apparently, there was a program that they passed out to the audience during 72 and 73 that explained a little bit of this. So we got Lover's Leap. That's the Don't You Know Our Love Is True and all that. Two lovers are lost in each other's eyes, found again transformed in the bodies of another male and female. Oh.
I swear I saw your face change. It didn't seem quite right.
And I never picked up on that, ever. This is news to me.
Yeah.
And then we have...
This is good.
Yeah, then we have the guaranteed sanctuary man, eternal sanctuary man. The lover comes across a town dominated by two characters. One, a benevolent farmer, the guy harvesting and watering his crop and all that. And the other, the head of a highly disciplined scientific religion. Maybe that was the guy with the fire, I don't know. But he likes to be known as the guaranteed eternal sanctuary man and claims to contain a new secret ingredient capable of fighting fire. So yes, that is him. This is a falsehood. It's baloney. You know, it's
Whopper and a taradiddle.
it's fish paste. It's an untruth. It's a whopper. Yes, clear. A lie is what it is. Okay. Well, okay, and then we get to the Ichnaton and Itzakon and their band of merry men, as we mentioned. Who the lovers see clad in grays and purples, awaiting to be summoned out of the ground. At the guaranteed eternal sanctuary man's command, they put forth from the bowels of the earth to attack all those without an up-to-date eternal life license. Boy, that almost gets into some of the other songs on Foxtrot, you know, like Get 'Em Up by Friday, or not exactly, but kind of similar, like, you know, bureaucracy getting in the way, and you had to get it at the office of the devil, of their religion. And then you get to How Dare I Be So Beautiful. That's the soft part before Willow Farm, in which our intrepid heroes investigate the aftermath of the battle and discover a solitary figure obsessed by his own image. That would be Narcissus, wouldn't it? They witness an unusual transmutation and pulled into their own reflections in the water. Interesting. So that's where they see Narcissus, I guess, turn into a flower. A flower? And then Peter comes out with the flower on his head, and we're singing Willow Farm. So, climbing out of the pool, they're once again in a different existence. They're right in the middle of a myriad of bright colors, filled with all manner of objects, plants, animals, and humans. Life flows freely. Everything is mindlessly busy. Dad diddly office. At random, a whistle blows. Feel your body melt, and every single thing is instantly changed into another. See,
the frog was a prince, the prince was a brick, and the brick was an egg, the egg was a bird.
Yes, fly away, sweet little thing. They're going to change you into a human being. So, and then we get to the crunch, the apocalypse in 9/8, which is mostly instrumental. However, it does have meaning in the Magog and all that. So it says, at one whistle, the lovers become seeds in the soil. Interesting. I don't know. Where they recognize other seeds to be people from the world in which they had originated. So maybe everybody got turned into seeds and planted? I don't know.
Waiting for spring, they return to their old world to see apocalypse of St. John in full progress.
It's all breaking loose.
Yeah.
And then the Shepperton trumpets blowing sweet rock and roll. It caused a sensation. The fox keeps throwing sixes. I don't know what that means. Maybe he's rolling dice. And Pythagoras, a Greek extra, is deliriously happy as he manages to put exactly the right amount of milk and honey on his cornflakes. I know how he feels. You know, when you get it just right. And then you get to the end part, which is essentially a reprise of the beginning. You know, above all else, an egg is an egg is an egg. Did those feet making ends meet? I don't know what that means. Jerusalem is a place of peace, though. So they make it to Jerusalem. So after all that silliness with the devil, or whatever he was calling himself that day, they finally make it to Jerusalem. Now, it still seems a little odd, like, were they even trying to get to Jerusalem to begin with? What happened there? Like, there was a whole adventure that happened here, and we're not really sure why it happened, but that's all right. Oh, and look at that. They actually put it out. It was a B-side to Watch Her the Skies. They put out Willow Farm as a single.
Oh, why?
Yeah. Interesting. Okay, so closing thoughts, Adrian?
Right. Well, I learned a lot today. I thought I knew a lot about the song, and I had some information about it, but it's, some things are clearer to me now. Some things aren't, but some things are. So
yeah, I would say so. Yeah, same here.
Experience.
For sure. There may have been a way to put this all together and have it make a little bit more sense. You know, Nonetheless, I still love this piece of music. I'm glad it exists. I'm glad it was written. One of Genesis's best pieces.
Yeah, it's a masterpiece.
All right. Well, so with all that, folks, why don't you let us know what you thought of this song or set of songs, however you want to look at it. If you've ever heard it before, if you've ever seen it performed live, let us know. We'd be interested to know your experiences with it. And also, if you have any particular thoughts on what this all means, by all means, share that as well. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. And if you enjoyed our presentation, please subscribe. All right. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll catch you on the next one. All right. Take care, folks.
See you all later.